Hi, it's Bruce. It's Saturday, March 29th. Yesterday we went to see a catered affair. Now let me tell you about expectations. Sometimes I go to a show and I have very low expectations. Sometimes I will tell you that I have low expectations or I have no expectations, as was the case with Passing Strange and In the Heights, both of which low expectations paid off because I wound up really having a good time. It's something that from a musical takes you out of yourself and takes you up when you're not expecting it. It's a really good thing. I went into a catered affair with kind of high expectations because it had been done in San Diego, got quite good word of mouth, very good buzz, and a fabulous cast. So in this case, good expectations didn't pay off quite as well. I think I was expecting too much. Since I try to stress the positive, I will say that this is a lovely musical. It's a small musical, a chamber musical. The cast is first rate. It's beautifully acted. Faith Prince and Tom Wopat, Leslie Kritzer, who I had never seen before, but I had heard a lot about ever since she did Funny Girl at Paper Mill. And I think she'd be great in Sideshow. So what do you think of Leslie Kritzer there? And Matt Cavanaugh, who we've always liked, wonderful performer. The cast is first rate. The production is first rate. My problem, I won't say our problem because I'm not speaking for the people I went with, but my problem was that it took me about 20 minutes or so to finally get into the music. John Bucchino wrote the score, and it's kind of low-key. It comes out of the book. Harvey Fierstein did the book, and he did a really good job adapting the film, which I'm familiar with. I just saw it earlier this year. And he took a few liberties. Some of them worked. Some I didn't think worked as well. He placed his own character a little bit more forward than in the movie, sort of framing the whole show. It's only 90 minutes, and making the character gay, sort of a in-the-closet gay, who sort of gets a little liberated at the end. Personally, I think it's a little too early for the liberation and to be treated that well in that period in the Bronx, but that's a little carping. I really don't care. Harvey did a very good job with the book. And musically, let me just jump to Harvey. I thought musically, because Harvey, to me, isn't the greatest singer, I thought actually his singing was some of the best of his that I'd seen in any of his productions, especially in his higher register. So actually I have to give Harvey props on that. Faith Prince and Tom Wopat were, of course, wonderful as the parents, but the musical numbers just didn't propel me. I found them rather dry and tiring, kind of boring, and a few times they were working toward moving me, but I really think that if I was like in the third row of the Mitzi Newhouse Theater at Lincoln Center, and this musical was happening, I think maybe it would have pulled me in. But in the larger Walter Kerr, and it's a beautiful theater, and we were only in row J, there was something that just didn't move me about it. Actually, at the end, when I won't give away the ending, but the ending was when I first got moved. The music pulled me in a little bit when, and I don't know the name of the number, I think it might have been Vision, but I don't know, I wasn't following each number as I was watching, when Faith Prince is picturing what she might see at her daughter's wedding, and it's the apricot flowers on the cake, and that song, if it's not Vision, you may correct me down in the comment section, and I apologize for not knowing the name of that song. As it is, nothing stood out to me as a song, but I'd have to hear it again, and I think if I had the CD, I would hear more melody and more meaning in each number. But it just seemed to, it got a bit slow for me. It's supposed to be low-key. It's a reality-based thing. I can understand. You don't want numbers like In the Heights coming out and jumping on you with choruses. It's a small cast. It's beautifully thought out, but it didn't pull me in. I think some people are going to think this is the best musical of the season, and I won't argue with them. I think that it just didn't overwhelm me. It's not supposed to overwhelm you, I think, but it didn't take me in at all. I left feeling actually disappointed. I feel terrible about it, and I hope that it does well. I hope it speaks to a large audience, but to pull out a number and do it on the Today Show or the Tonys, I don't know if it would sell tickets. I hope it sells tickets. I hope it speaks to people. I wish it well. And it's just, if you go in, look for a well-acted, realistically directed musical, and that's daring. So I applaud it for all that. And I wish I would have enjoyed it more. Okay. This afternoon I went out by myself and saw Crybaby. Had a great seat, row M on the aisle, and I love the overture, and part of the first number, which is the anti-polio picnic. I found that amusing because I grew up in the 50s and I remember all that polio stuff. Then it didn't go anywhere for me. The costumes are great, the orchestrations are great, the dance arrangements are great. The cast works hard. Harriet Harris is as funny as Harriet Harris is. And actually the Crybaby, James Snyder, he was quite charming. But it just didn't go anywhere for me. I think the problem is that it's second-rate John Waters, based on a film that I actually saw and don't remember at all. I remember Johnny Depp because I love Johnny Depp, but even he didn't save that film for me. So when they made it into a musical, I think it was maybe just on the heels of Hairspray. Personally, I think it was if you took Hairspray and Grease and the Forever Plaid and put them in cars and ran them into an intersection, skipping the red light, and they all collided. That's sort of Crybaby. Some of the audience seemed to enjoy it. It was a mixed audience reaction. I think there's a lot of money and time and effort in there and a lot of goodwill. But you put it next to something like Catered Affair, which is actually, I can see the artistic merit in Catered Affair, even though Crybaby is a little bit more up-tempo and moves faster. Crybaby just didn't stack up for me. And that's it for my reviews this week.